Hello everybody, it's Mike Levin, August 23rd, 2015. I'm really on a roll with these videos lately, but I guess I've been queuing up lots of thoughts in my head, and now that I've had a few days to myself, I dropped off the family Tuesday at around midnight, got home at like 3 a.m. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and so far today, I have had to myself. And I dove into coding head first, bored down on my work in a way that I haven't done in months. It's really interesting to see the shades of green on the GitHub main profile pages for users. You can see when you go on a real roll with commit after commit after commit as you work your way through problems, because it is true. The more commits, the more you are working on that thing. Because the best time to commit is when you've done enough coding that you wouldn't like to lose that work and you'd like it as a go back point. So unless you're doing tons of tiny commits on things like spelling mistakes, which I do sometimes, but not in a really high frequency. But unless you're doing really frivolous commits, the number of commits throughout the day is a good sign of how much coding work you're doing if you're using a repository like GitHub as your repository. And doing so has been a major shift in my workflow. I got into something close to this workflow as I was choosing my platforms originally, and because Python was my programming language, I was very drawn to something called Mercurial, or HG, as my distributed revision control system. Now, when you're making your technology decisions, your tools, your tool choices, one of the things you're going to have to deal with is how to collaborate with others. And if you're not just using whatever tool your team that you're joining happens to be using, and you have the privilege, the opportunity to make your own selection, you would almost never choose anything other than what's called a distributed revision control system, which includes the likes of Mercurial and also Git. Now, Git is the super famous one now because of a particular hosted version called GitHub, which built a web user interface on top of Git so that people could sort of turn Git into a community location website, more than just a community location repository, which it already was. Didn't actually need a website to work that way. You could address a Git repository using, HTTP or Git protocols, and it would do just fine without a web server that you can click and surf around. So anyway, the distributed in that means that the entire edit by edit, commit by commit history of that project is in every location that ever clones a project from off of that repository. So if 5 people clone and they're all on different computers, that means there is now 5 computers that could, if the situation arose, be turned into the main Git repository for that project because it has the entire history. In this way, it's a lot like DNA. Every cell of your body has a copy of what it is to be you, at least from a biological chemical sense, not your experiences. That's another video. So Git and Mercurial and all the distributed systems start to create a participatory system where everybody has everything. And even though one repository is deemed the master repository, it only holds that status because that's where the project lead with full administrative rights to that repository hangs out and merges change requests back into the main branch. GitHub took off so magnificently because Git was sitting there waiting for someone to do this first, and they just connected the dots. Just like YouTube connected the dots first when the Flash plugin or extension to browsers suddenly could stream video. YouTube was all over that, making a service available that was never really available before, because the nightmare of embedded components like Media Player, which was the state of streaming video before the Flash player could stream video. So Potential was created by Adobe. Bam, YouTuber was there. Potential was created by Linus Torvalds with Git. Bam, GitHub was there. Every time some new technology comes along that can connect a few dots that people didn't think to connect before, someone comes along, connects those dots, bam, gets the benefit of doing it first, even though they're not the ones who created the foundation on which it was done. That's what I'm trying to do with Linux. That's what I'm trying to do with Pipulate. I think it's going to be a wonderful all-purpose connect-the-dot tool for many, many situations. I encourage you to use it, follow my videos, and thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.